MES College, Marampally, e-learning.
Dear students, I am Jasmine, Faculty, Department of Human Resource Management, MES College, Marampally. Today we will deal with the topic Training and Development, which is a part of Semester 3 MHRM. Training, as you know, is an integral part of today's business. Any organization, let it be small or big, undertakes some form of training or development programs in one or more areas. Today we will go through the first module of training and development, which includes the definition of training, need and importance of training, areas of training, principles of training and steps in training. We will go through the module now. Now we will start with the definition of training as given by Edwin Flippo. Training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee for doing a particular job. There are 6 types of training programs provided by most organizations. These include knowledge, skill and attitude related training, career development related training, training focused on team development, organizational development, human resource development and performance improvement training. Next is the objectives of training. The 3 main objectives of training include: first, to facilitate learning of new skills; second, enhancing the existing knowledge; and third one, changing employees' behavior. In short, we can say that training is all about knowledge, skills and attitudes. Next, we will pass on to need for training and development. First one, training brings about improvement in employee skill, which in turn increases the quality and quantity of output. Training ensures increased return to employees by way of increase in individual productivity, to meet changing techniques or to improve old and inefficient methods. By training, the relative amount of equipment and materials required for a unit of output is decreased. Training is needed to bridge the gap between existing performance ability and desired performance. In the words of McGregor, training is needed for the following purposes, that is, acquiring intellectual or technical knowledge, acquiring manual skills and acquiring problem solving skills. Now we will pass on to the importance of training and development. Training is the only means for developing skill and competent workforce. It helps in achieving the growth objective. It helps in change management. Then it helps in the updating of workers' skills through regular training. It ensures that every worker performs up to the expected standards. Training creates competent workforce capable of performing, which results in a competent organization. Now we will see the advantages of training. First, we will see the advantages of training to the organization. Training improves the ability of an organization to face the challenges created by changing technology. It increases the competency of an organization to face competition. It enhances the chances of organizational synergy, means working together. Training ensures workforce flexibility in organizations where multi-skilling strategies are followed. Next, training helps to develop skilled workforce. Next one, regular training programs keep the morale of the workforce high. Now we will see the advantages of training to the individual. Training enhances an individual's skills levels. It provides an opportunity to develop one's latent potential. Latent means hidden potential. It increases the confidence of the worker to perform the assigned task. Next, employees perceive training as a sign of importance to the organization. Next one, enhances the status of the worker at the workplace. With training and development programs, the employees' skills are increased so that it enhances the status of the worker at the workplace by way of promotions. Then it opens doors to more lucrative opportunities. More career opportunities are welcomed for the employee. Then improves the internal and external job mobility. Improves the promotion prospects for the worker, and it also raises the market value of the worker. Next one, we will see the principles of training. The key principles for employee training. There are 10 basic principles of employee training. We'll start with the first one, which is learning is an active process. The majority of workplaces today expect their employees to learn by simply memorizing the concepts and data that is shared with them, irrespective of whether it is presented verbally or in black and white. Learning is an active process, and the best way you can help the trainees learn is via engagement, means working it out with the employees. An easy way of doing this is by using the retrieval method, where learners are asked to briefly explain and summarize the training's key takeaways. This can be either done verbally or in writing. Next principle is understanding the impact of past knowledge and experiences. The way a person perceives anything that is shared with them largely depend on what they know and have experienced in the past. This means the past experience and knowledge of the trainer is very important when you give training to the employees. Third one, learning does not mean bombarding a lot of information at once. The part of our brain that focuses on short-term memory can rapidly get exhausted and fail to store any information that is shared if it is presented in large chunks. Therefore, to make the most of your investment and enable learners to learn, topics that are vast should be broken down into small subtopics for discussion. This is one reason why micro-learning has become a popular learning technique across the world. Fourth principle, learners always think they know more than they actually do. As a trainer, you will often find out a couple of people in your advanced training sessions who lack basic knowledge. Everyone may not be aware of everything, and some people think that they know everything. So letting such people enroll and attend training that is not suitable for them will waste your training budget, in addition to keeping the deserving candidates deprived of the opportunity. So how to tackle this problem? Trainers must consider finding a way that allows them to shortlist the right candidates. This can be easily done by conducting mini quizzes or short interviews. Fifth principle, feedback is extremely important. Most learners find judging their current knowledge and abilities difficult. Similarly, they can come to the wrong conclusions while giving themselves feedback. This is where the role of trainers and educators comes in. They need to ensure that the learners are provided detailed but constructive feedback that is essential for their learning and development. The sixth principle of training is retention of what has been learned. At most times, what we have learned gets forgotten if it's not revised, converted into an experience, or remembered via association with something else. This is a very typical problem, but brings a lot of frustration to both trainers and learners. To tackle this issue, trainers can always include an activity in the training plan that helps the learners retain what they have learned. Alternatively, if the trainers happen to interact with learners on a daily basis, they should make it a point to remind them of the key takeaways time and again. More training sessions can be arranged on the same subject after a few months of the initial training to ensure that training objectives have been fully met. Seventh principle, creating a non-toxic and relaxed learning environment. Research proves that the environment where people learn has a direct impact on their minds, bodies, and their ability to learn. The best trainers are those who take this learning principle into account and ensure creating an environment that encourages learning. Now we'll pass on to the eighth principle of training, that is discussing the bigger picture. By bigger picture, we mean the ultimate goals and objectives that you are seeking to achieve by the end of a training program. Trainers should try to discuss these objectives in the very start so that the learners can learn in the right direction. Every learner attending a training session must be aware of what they are going to be taught, the ultimate goal of the training, and the practical application or importance of the lessons learned. Ninth principle is focus on practical learning. Trainers should focus on practical learning by using scenarios. This is a learning principle that, when implemented efficiently, allows learners to better understand the concepts that are shared with them. It creates a link between the training topics and real life scenarios. This way, learners not only learn quickly and easily but also retain shared information well. Last principle of training, that is allow socializing. There will be both introverts and extroverts in your training sessions. Regardless, the trainer should try to incorporate activities in training that allows socializing, as it makes the learning environment more relaxed, friendly and comfortable. So these were the principles of training. Next we'll pass on to the steps in training. First step is analyzing the training needs. This focuses on the identifying of training needs of the organization. Needs are identified at the organizational level, occupational level and individual level. Second step is planning and designing the training approach. Once the need assessment is complete, the training program is planned. This step focuses on defining the training objectives, deciding on appropriate methods of training, deciding on support staff, selecting training aids, deciding on training content, deciding on prerequisites of training, determining performance standards and evaluation tools, and organizing and sequencing the training sessions. Next step is developing the training material. The training material is prepared based on the training needs and training plan. The important training materials to be developed include training course outlines, training session plans, learner material, audio-visual aids, trainee evaluation and feedback questionnaire, reviewing the existing training material, validating new training materials, etc. This stage also involves administrative arrangements such as booking accommodations and venue, logistical support, etc. Fourth step is delivering the training session. This stage decides the learning outcome of the entire training program. The trainer presents the learning content, acts as a facilitator of learning and manages learning in a training room situation. The last of all the steps in training is evaluating the training session. The evaluation is done to judge the impact of training on the trainees and the organization. With this, the session on training and development ends. Hope the points are clear to you. Thank you.